The little twit, 100%. Oh, I'm sorry. She believes that based on what I'm talking about before, but what I'm telling her, okay? And my mom's psychologist, remember, didn't want to section my mom. Nobody wants to section my mom and put her back in the hospital when she just got out. But, you know, contacted her as well. Sits there. Says, we got to get your mom to the hospital. If you won't call, you know, if you won't call 911, you don't understand people. Then go and get her blood tested tomorrow, you know, tomorrow morning we'll set it up, blah, 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 whatever, okay? We do that. But she has, do you understand this fucking twit is so pro-medication, it's not funny. She doesn't care about my mom's concerns at all, unlike the one before that left. And this fucking bitch can't even throw me crumbs. It's acting like I'm irrational or I have anger issues that need to be fixed. The only reason my mom no longer had to take an obscene amount of Depakote, which is 1,500 milligrams, and she was having, I was tracking them, nosebleed after nosebleed, increasing, is because her primary care physician had to put her foot down with the little nurse practitioner twit. He literally did. She gave my mom a hard time. Does Auntie care? No. No, not at all. I have anger issues. I'm a nutcase. I'm a head case. Oh my God. She won't even fucking throw me crumbs. And she's gonna call herself my friend. And she wants to say I've been supportive for you. Yeah. What do you do for me really, Auntie? If you're not there for me when I'm hurting and you're just going to negate me and my feelings and act like I'm just making it all up, like my mom didn't just spend 5 days in the hospital with 2.14 lithium toxicity level, you know, like I'm just crazy. And that little twit has repeatedly just not, she's just a stupid nurse practitioner. My mom needs to be seeing a real psychiatrist. Auntie can't even throw me crumbs on that. Of course not. Of course not. And if the woman had that attitude and doesn't respect my mom's concerns ever, my mom doesn't even like her, she just, you know, then even then I would say, go find someone else. This woman is not the only person in the world. Who would do that? She's telling me she suspects that that my mom is lithium toxic based on everything that I'm saying. Yet sits there and tells me my mom still has to take her night pill and her morning pill of lithium. Why? There are patients who sometimes forget their pills one night. The world doesn't come to an end. You are so fucking pro-medication, so obsessed, this stupid NP, that she can't even, but she believes my mom might be lithium toxic. Your mom could go into kidney failure, but you need to feed her the poison 2 more times and make sure she takes it, even though you see her. You know what I mean? Who does that? This woman does. She's a stupid, useless little twit, ignorant. And I say that to Auntie, and Auntie gets upset. You have anger issues. And she has the nerve to say to me that I guess she talked to the woman, I don't know. You know, so-and-so's right, you know. Just because you're against psychiatric medication, these are my, you know, I can't read you her text, but I can do what I did before when trouble was my friend. I can type them all up, my reply, her text, and send it to Joe and send it to Selena, like I used to do with trouble, periodically. Just because you're against psychiatric medication doesn't mean you have to fly off the handle every time your mom gets hospitalized. This is not normal circumstances anymore. You understand? What happened to my mom in that hospital? What happened just began a few days after? Okay? Auntie didn't want my mom in that hospital. But once she's sent there, we're kind of just resigned to it, and they were supposed to follow, and that didn't bother me if they were going to follow what this woman had wanted, and then they completely changed it around, and I get upset, and I'm told to, well, you need to get back into therapy. You have such anger issues. You're such a mental health case. You're such a nutcase. Fuck you. Fuck you. It wouldn't matter if I was still in therapy. I would feel the same goddamn way. And that awesome therapist I had, believe me, would not be negating me, negating my feelings like you just revel in doing, Auntie. When I don't agree with you. Last time I got legitimately upset because she told me that she made me the healthcare proxy. No, she didn't. I'm the alternate. The alternate means I have zilch power. The alternate means that she can do whatever she wants and negate me, and if I'm not happy about it, oh, she'll attribute it to my mental illness. That's what the alternate means. Yet when I got upset about that, I got all these messages from her, and you're being ridiculous, Laura, and whatever. Remember, I lost the fucking phone. And why did I lose the fucking phone? I'm a nutcase. I'm a head case. Nothing I feel is justified, right? I'm just nuts. I lost the fucking phone because that fucking attorney, which my mom doesn't hear, court-appointed attorney, my mom doesn't hear from her for a month. We finally say, Mom, you should probably call about getting that medical certificate. That was a farce. Auntie doesn't know everything. I was right about that, and she was wrong, and her brother was wrong, and the lawyer was wrong. Everyone was wrong but me, okay? But I'm a nutcase. I'm a head case. Fuck you. Goes without saying, I won't be going to the family cookout. Fucking way. Oh, fucking way. Remember why I lost my phone? Because I was drunk and whatever. We get called the night before. I have those messages saved forever, too. Oh, Selena couldn't believe it. We're coming tomorrow. I know it's last minute, Samantha, but make sure the house is clean, and make sure this, and make sure that. And when my mom called up and said she wanted more time, the woman said, I'll resign as your lawyer. God cared about any of that? No. No. My mom's life's on the line, and the woman doesn't even give us 24 hours to prepare. She was supposed to talk to my mom about what was going to happen. The house, not that it's filthy, but I'm the one who stayed up all night, and I can't be here. I'm not going to be here. I'm not going to be here when they come. No way. No way. So I had to make myself scarce after staying up all night and enraged. And my mom's terrified, and it's like it was awful. I'm the one that's been dealing with all of this, and this bitch is going to call me a nutcase and a headcase, and my mom's back in the same hospital. I've watched her getting sicker and sicker. I listened to her NP flabbergasted, and did I disobey? No. I was a good little girl too, Mom. I'm sorry, Mom. You're probably lithium toxic. We're going to get your blood levels tested in the morning, but your stupid NP little twit says you have to take your lithium tonight and tomorrow. I can't have her go off with the lithium. Why? There are patients that forget. Do you really think she's going to go off the deep end? I mean, if you think she's in danger, potentially, the call should be, the call. You call it and you say it's not going to kill her to not take these last 2 600-milligram pills, and it wouldn't. We're going to get her to the hospital. She's more in danger from the lithium toxicity than to not take her lithium. But the woman said it. It proves to me I already didn't like her, okay? Already didn't like her. But doesn't that prove to you guys? I can't have you. And then she's like, it's probably the lithium, but because we don't know for sure, you need to feed her the last 2 tablets that are poisoning her system. Unfucking believable. And I get backlash, you know, wanting her to not see this woman anymore because I don't like her, and the woman won't communicate with me about anything. It's her way or the highway. And I have to get a text from Auntie. She's right. You don't, just because you're against psychiatric medication doesn't mean you have to fly off the handle every time your mom gets hospitalized. Go fuck yourself. You think if I was in therapy I'd feel any differently? Oh, I'd be fixed in my brain, right? I'd be a little sheeple, just like most people on this planet, bowing down to these doctors like they know everything. Doesn't it prove to you the fact that she wanted to do one thing, this doctor's doing something completely different, and when my mom gets out, she has no opinion. She will follow whatever this doctor puts my mom on. You get it where I'm coming from, people? Dr. Peter Bregan is a psychiatrist. He's not some quack. There's other ones, too. Kelly Brogan, you know? Dr. Peter Bregan doesn't say that a patient go off of their psych meds, but he doesn't bow down to what most people, including Auntie, do. The doctors know best and that's it. Even the stupid nurse practitioner, Auntie can't throw me some fucking crumbs. Oh, by the way, I haven't paid on my phone. I'm not. My mom blurted out to Selena before where I live anyway. Which, I mean, I love Selena, but I wasn't going to tell, you know. But my mom did it anyway, so I'll call her on my home phone. I'm not even going to charge my phone. I mean, I'm not even going to pay on it. Why should I? Why should I? Auntie thinks she had the last word. Because she called me names and whatever and threatened. She's like, you better watch your mouth or I won't be in your life anymore either. Just, you know, fuck her. Didn't take long, did it? I don't bow down to her. Meanwhile, I'm fully acknowledging she has all the power. I'm fully acknowledging my mom has to stay in this hospital, but she even wants to control my feelings about it, see? Call me names and threaten me. So she wanted the last word. I read you my text and the other video. That's real, you know, a ad lib. That's real, you know. I tell you important things you are unaware of, and you resort to name calling, and you're calling me names and something else, and I should have said and threatening me real nice. Oh. And the important things I was telling her is why I don't like the nurse practitioner. What happened? You know? What happened with the Depakote? My poor mother. The woman is a bitch. She's not the only person my mom can see, you know? I don't like her. I didn't like her that night that I know my mom's getting sicker and sicker, and then she makes her still take the last 2 lithium pills. I mean, come on. Your mom could go into kidney failure, but she can't go off the lithium for tonight and tomorrow, even though you're getting her. No. I can't have you take her off the lithium, Laura, because the world will come to an end, so you can take her off the clonidine for the night. Clonidine is very sedative. She knew that it was, and not only was it lithium toxicity, it was 2.14, nearly double the highest therapeutic amount of lithium. You understand? She was extremely toxic, and I had to feed her the last 2 pills. I had to say, I'm sorry, Mom, but you have to take these. She's making me have you take them. Unreal. And remember, I told you, my mom had to fight tooth and nail to get off the friggin' Depakote. Just 500 milligrams, that's all we wanted to do, reduce it by 500. She didn't want her to do it. I'm afraid something's going to happen to you if you reduce this. I don't care that you're having nosebleeds. I only, you know, but her primary care physician had to put his foot down with her. You get it? Does anybody understand where I'm coming from here? Then the fucking trazodone, it was actually 100 milligrams, but so what? It turned out it wasn't even, we were all so afraid, you know. I'm like, no, I don't care. I'm not even getting permission. She's on way too much fucking trazodone. They drug them to high heaven in the hospital. They're in a controlled, safe environment. They're not cooking. They're not walking. They're not, you know what, walking the dogs or doing this or doing that. My mom was on too much trazodone. You think I was going to call the little twit and ask permission? No. She knew. She didn't care. To her, my mom needs to rigidly follow whatever the nut-house doctors put my mom on. And that is the bottom line. She's not even a real psychiatrist. And even now, I just wanted to know from her why she had chosen what she had chosen. And I get a message that she's not calling, and I get a message, it's like, from her receptionist who had been very nice to me and had said she would call, and then she doesn't, but whatever. It's like you need to just follow whatever they know best. They know best. Go fuck yourself. I was giving you the benefit of the doubt, wanted to know why you thought what you thought, and you're just going to tell me the nut-house doctor knows best, and you can't even throw me crumbs. Go. Unfucking believable. Then my aunt negates me. Like I didn't just watch my mom nearly go into kidney failure right in front of my eyes. Like I'm supposed to be unaffected, that my mom keeps winding up in these hospitals, that she could wind up in a nursing home. I'm supposed to be a fucking robot. And she wants to call herself my friend. No, she wants me to bow down to her and never question her about anything or bring up anything negative with her. I'm going to type it all up. Like I said, my reply, her text, my reply. I can't share it with you guys, but I can share it with my two friends, Joe and Selena. I could send them an email like I used to do with Trouble, who would just simply say to me if she was still in my life, why are you surprised? A leopard doesn't change its spots, Laura. And now I need to refresh my memory, because there are other things that Auntie did that shocked me back when she was, you know, in my life again, and Trouble said the same thing to me. Why are you surprised, Laura? And I can't remember what those things were, because there's been so much. And then, you're a nutcase, you're a head case, you need to get help for your anger issues. Like you know what? There are people who have anger issues, and the anger is 100% justified. I'm in the goddamn Twilight Zone. Yeah, Richard, you little fucking asshole. I have gained weight. My cortisol levels are through the roof. I'm probably going into perimenopause. Cancer runs in my family. I try to fight with I try to do all the healthy things. But there's just too much that has happened over these past few years. My breasts are super tender. Breast cancer doesn't run in our family, but cancer itself has. Three have died. I'm just not supposed to be affected by anything, according to her. She acts like I'm just upset for no reason at all. Resorts to calling me names and threatening to exit my life. Unreal. Unreal. It always holds over my head. You know what upset you, Mother? Yeah, that's your leverage always with me, Auntie. Because my mom actually wants me to be equal healthcare proxy with you. She thought that I was the healthcare proxy and you weren't. She doesn't understand what's going on. You had her sign that, or she might have forged her name, I don't know, but you had her sign it when she was out of it. Remember, she got out of those assholes' hospital and went to stay with Auntie, and within 4 days was back in the hospital because she wanted to go. She was slurring her words. She doesn't want to wind up like her sister. Wonder why she was slurring her words? Probably because those assholes had her on everything, including Seroquel. Okay? But remember, she has to be compliant, has to take whatever these nuthouse doctors put her on, even when we hate the nuthouse doctors, and in the future we're going to wish we could have a lawsuit against them because we get proof that they violated my mom's HIPAA rights. Had they not done that, none of this court shit would have happened. Auntie and I have watched my mother age so much in these last few years, okay? Just because someone has anger issues doesn't mean that any time they get angry, it's just not valid, not justified, just ridiculous, you know? Just because someone's mentally ill doesn't mean they're never right about anything at all in this life. Two of my aunts have died of cancer. And then just recently, my young cousin in her 30s came down with a rare form of cancer and was dead within, like, fast. What does that tell you? The woman made me give my mom. The woman was just nearly positive my mom was lithium toxic and still made me feed her the last 2 pills. What does that tell you? It tells me she's incompetent. She's so pro-medication that she'll even, you know. What if those last 2 pills were what were going to send my mom into kidney failure? Isn't it better to not give her those last 2 pills? What is the world going to come to an end? There are patients that go off their medication. It's already built. You know what I mean? It's like, why do I have to give her those last 2 pills that we suspect are making her very sick? Because that woman is so pro-medication that when my mom is concerned about the fucking nosebleeds, whatever, the woman doesn't care. You need to stay on the 1,500 milligrams. It was me that with my help, my mom expressed her concerns, and the primary care physician put his foot down with the woman. And then she still gave my mom a hard time. I'm really concerned about you not, you know, it's sickening. You don't have to be anti-psych medication to realize that when it's somebody elderly like my mother and whatever, you're supposed, you know, they don't... Chris Rock said, you know, he's around my age, I think. Over 20 years ago, devil without a cause, somebody's gonna feel this. Or a fist of rage, far from saved. I'm a fist of rage, 1 foot in the grave. Here's a blade slit through a wrist of hate. much pain I'm in, or how much I'm going through. I'm always friendly to customer service people, to the bus drivers, to everything, you know, unless they are jerks to me first. And yes, I recently approved derogatory towards me comments from Richard Picks. The only comments that I don't even read them, I don't approve them, are the ones from false alarmist and whatever he's calling himself now. And that is because he writes things like this long. He rips into me 20 comments at a time. You know what I mean? I told you, he's obsessed. He writes comments that he knows I'm not reading, that aren't even reply comments. That would be a rational thing for the asshole to do. Only do reply comments to someone and say Stony, because then you know somebody besides you is reading it. But no, he'll do them on his own too, and nobody's reading them but him. Okay? They have to be approved by me first. That's why. Because he doesn't, he's just bump up every I'm not going to even read them. That's an obsessive dislike of me that goes above and beyond. It's fucking sick. It's because the comments most of the time are so fucking long. They're all in my fucking Hotmail, okay? Actually, you know, recently they started to not even show up in my Hotmail. Not sure what's going on with that. But I have enough of the old ones, and it's the same old thing, you know. Remember, any comments that show up in my Hotmail go into the folder of that person. By now, I think I have like, between Stoney's, all those characters, it's got to be 1,200 comments, maybe more. Maybe more. I can tell instantly how many, because the folder itself has, you know, it'll say number of emails at the bottom. Oh yeah, that's got to be up to, between all those characters before Colin, Stoney, and Phil, and Stoney #2 and Grateful Fit. Yeah, we're probably talking 3,000 comments. I wouldn't be surprised. Between all those various characters, yeah, it's a lot of fucking comments. But they're not, a lot of them are short. One sentence, not this long. If you go in the false alarmist folder, oh my god, every friggin' comment, I used to read them. I stopped months ago. I don't read them anymore. So unless he posts them to his buddy Stoney or something, then he's or whoever, he's writing them for no reason. Nobody's reading them. That's obsessive. That's sick. It's beyond sick. How do you think I felt when that woman says to me, you know, your mom could go into kidney failure. She's probably lithium toxic. Meanwhile, it's on the prescribed dosage. She gets out of the hospital. It starts within days, and I don't know what's going on. And the woman doesn't, you know, can't just throw caution to the wind. She's so afraid that, I mean, what's going to happen if my mom doesn't take those last 2 600 milligram lithium pills, you know? about we throw caution to the wind regarding your fear that something horrible will happen. I can't ever go off the lithium. It's those exact words to me. And I'm thinking, you think, you suspect, you're nearly certain she has lithium toxicity. We don't know what her blood levels are. And you are going to force her to take these last 2 pills that most likely are making her sick. Unfucking believable. But you can take her off the clonidine. She doesn't have to take the clonidine, but I can't have her go off the lithium because the world will come to an end. I'm sorry, but I know the world won't come to an end. I know there are times that people forget to take their medication. It's better to err. I mean, isn't it regarding the lithium thing, it's better to err on the side of caution and not have her take those 2 pills. Isn't that what someone normal would have done, I would think? If you suspect something is making somebody sick, even if it's something somebody has to take, it's not, I mean, unless it's something that's a medication that, you know, is life or death or something, which lithium is not. My mom not taking her last 2 pills was not going to kill my mother, but taking them might have. But you know, it could be the clonidine. Clonidine is very sedative. Just take her off the clonidine, but you have to still feed her the poison. Oh. Remember, I'm already upset with this woman over other stuff, and then I get that shit from her. And then I get that from Auntie. Auntie's not the one that's been involved in all of this, and she's going to say, you know, so-and-so is right. You know, just because you're anti-psychiatric medication, oh, Joe's going to love that one. But he already knows this bullshit, you know. We're talking about these women being thrown out of gyms for wearing stuff that I've seen women wearing throughout my life, and they've never had a problem. And Joe's like, yeah. It's like now it's the most sick form of political correctness that you being fit and displaying your fitness is offensive to those who are not fit. You know? Unreal. Gotta read you that. What Joe wrote to me. It's Hitler. I would send it to Selena. It's like Hitlerian at its best, you know. And then Joe goes to say how I feel too. He's like, I, on the other hand, I like to see fit people because it's an inspiration to me. It motivates me to do better. Yeah, no shit, Joe. I used to cheer for the Biggest Loser people. Women are being thrown out of gyms, and not for wearing stuff. I mean, I saw what the woman was wearing. Especially the one in Canada. It was just a stupid racer. She's not allowed to wear a tank top because she's big-chested? Because it offends the other gym goers? That's ridiculous. The things I've seen at Bally's in California when I went. I didn't dress like that. And back when I was thin, I could have. Wearing the little tiny, like in an exercise class, like a little tiny thing that just covers their chest and little micro shorts. But I definitely wore short shorts that showed off my legs, and nowadays, you know, I probably would get thrown out of the gym for that. You never know. It's arbitrary. It's just like the plane thing, going on the plane. That's arbitrary. It's ridiculous. I saw the picture, the woman that was humiliated, and in a few years ago, I don't know when it was, and they always. And people are writing, you know, who write these articles and say, you know, enough is enough. It's not enough for these airlines to just do all this and then just say, well, we're sorry and we'll compensate you for you know, it's like, fuck you. There's nothing wrong with what woman was wearing. On the flight back, on the same damn airline, the stewardess complimented her. On the flight there, the guy gave her a hard time and was going to ask her to leave the plane. She had no other clothes. She had nothing with her. She was, I guess, traveling for the day or something. And he compromised by humiliating her. You need to pull the skirt down a little bit. And then it was ridiculous. I saw her outfit was. I've worn stuff like that. I've seen plenty of people wear stuff like that. That was above and beyond ridiculous. The ridiculousness of that made this recent thing. I mean, the recent thing with the woman and her outfit was kind of whatever, but this woman's wasn't. There was nothing wrong with it. She just wasn't. She was a very attractive blonde, and she wasn't dressed like a friggin' nun, you know? Unreal. And now it's happening in gyms. Bad enough it happens on airlines. It's happening in gyms now, people. It's sick. Unreal. Blows my mind. Blows my mind. And yes, I just woke up, and of course I woke up thinking about the same shit from yesterday. Trying to do so much. I need to finally write a friggin' I need to write a complete letter regarding the stupid, the manager's on my side 100%. He's pulling tapes. He's flabbergasted at the way, some of his bus drivers have treated me. Flabbergasted. Know anything anymore. Sick. I know damn well I just see right through this bitch, so obsessed with to the point of just with psychiatric medication. You get it? And I have to get this from my aunt who doesn't know shit about what I've been going through with my mom's nurse practitioner. My mom doesn't even like her. My mom just is, my mom needs pushing and encouragement or whatnot. And that's what the church woman was going to do. According to Auntie, just leave well enough alone. And I have to add insult to injury and have her write. She must have talked to her or something. Those exact words. Just because Sandra's right. Just because you're anti-psychiatric medication doesn't mean you have to fly off the handle every time your mom gets hospitalized. Joe is going to have a fucking field day with that. A fucking goddamn field day. Anybody rational on this planet could see right through that bullshit. Even if you're not anti-psychiatric medication, that doesn't mean you have to just bow down to every fucking little thing that these quack doctors believe and say and whatnot, I don't care. That's why I wrote to Auntie, you really think I give a rat's ass what that little twit thinks of me. If it were up to her, my mom would have stayed on the 1,500 milligrams of Depakote that was clearly causing her to have the nosebleeds. Because once she was reduced it, lo and behold, the nosebleeds went away. Or they became drastically reduced. But to that little twit, it's well, there's other reasons causing the nosebleed. No, you just want to keep her on as much fucking medication as possible. And I have anger issues because I disagree with that philosophy. Unfucking-believable! Evelina and Joe because they're 100% on my side, and I don't need Auntie. I don't need her proof. If Trouble was watching this, she'd say, I told you so. Why don't you learn? Because I'm in a rock and a hard place. We don't want to upset my mother. I need to play nice with Auntie. But now I know it was a charade all along. It was a facade. It was whatever. She's one of those people, the minute you cross her, meanwhile, you're not breaking into her house for crack money. You're not, calling her a fucking bitch. The minute you cross her, it's just, upsetting her with your truth because she doesn't want to hear it. Then all hell breaks loose and she's going to rip you apart. I have the proof in the phone. Phone's not going anywhere. You know what I mean? Last time I lost the phone before I could record all those texts in written form, and I was very upset. This time that ain't gonna happen, baby. I'm not even paying on my phone. I gave Auntie the home phone number, said if she ever needed to reach me in an emergency. And the home phone is attached to the internet, and it shows up if I'm watching TV. It displays across the screen. So, besides the fact that if it was a real emergency, Auntie only lives 10 minutes away from here. So, give or take. She's not an hour away or something. She's who they call anyway, not me. She's everything. She's the emergency contact. She's the healthcare proxy. The recent documents my mom got printed out by the last, I think it was the hospital or mental, whatever it was, listed her as next of kin. But I have anger issues if I get upset about that, huh? Just because someone's your emergency contact doesn't mean they're fucking, it just negates me. You know how I felt about this. I've always felt this way. That I don't matter, that I'm being negated, that I'm not even viewed as my mother's daughter. Next of kin is Auntie instead of, unbelievable. They don't have to use that wording, next of kin. It's emergency contact. I've seen it on other documents, an emergency contact. This place had her listed as next of kin. Yes, I did get upset. I'm not a fucking robot. Auntie would say, oh, what does it matter? Yeah, what does anything matter, Auntie? You'd probably be secretly thrilled to death if everything was the same as it was before. You'll say you're glad it's changed. But you can say anything. She just thinks she can say anything to me. I have all the text to prove it. She can call my name. She can attribute any of what I know other people on this planet would view as my justifiable, rational feelings. She could just attribute it all to my mental illness, to my anger issues, etc., etc., etc. Call me names, because she knows I'm in a rock and a hard place that can't upset my mom. Unbelievable. Damn well back with that trazodone thing was going to, quote, upset my mom, unquote. I live here with her. I can see that 100 million, and then I'm talking to my friend Heavyweight too, and she's telling me she knows these things, that 100 milligrams of trazodone for my mom was obscene. They want to drug him to high heavens in the mental hospital. She doesn't need to be on that in the outside world. She couldn't even function. She was a friggin' zombie. I was angry, and I did not. I don't care. I don't care. No, I don't bow down to these doctors. You think I was going to call little Sandra and ask her permission? No. And then it turned out that my mom suddenly remembered she didn't have to take the trazodone anyway unless she wanted to. So she certainly, I didn't want my mom to go completely off of it, but my mom remembered that. It wasn't mandatory. Just like this last doctor, this last hospital, she was back in, but I gave her the Ativan for, a 1 milligram, and she didn't, it was as needed. She didn't touch it that entire time. She didn't need it. She didn't want it. My mom was doing it. She was told, and if I wasn't here, get it? Auntie just told my mom, take everything you were prescribed. I question things. Auntie can deny it all she wants. We were all caught up in that whatever, Oh, and then Auntie just loves to say to me, well, this wouldn't be if you and your cousin hadn't gone against me. Yeah. And if we hadn't gone against you, things would still be the same goddamn way they've been for years, Auntie. I'm happy that we went against you and that it turned out the way it did. There are things that matter more than money. She constantly throws back that in my face, too. She has me in a rock and a hard place, Now that I'm semi-dependent upon her for whatever, then she just thinks she can say anything she wants to me, and I'm just supposed to take it. Last time, I forget when it was, whenever it was, she was saying shit to me, and I just bit my tongue. If I don't bite my tongue, we get into an argument. An argument that she always wins because she has the power to make me cry. And believe me, I've never made her cry in my life. I don't have that power. She doesn't give a shit. Get it? A normal, caring person would have said, you know what, Laura, I understand your concerns about your mom's nurse practitioner, and once your mom's out of this hospital better, I'll help you look into finding a real psychiatrist. Nope. Not Auntie. She's going to resort to name-calling and threats and this, that, or whatever, and any legitimate concerns, my mental health issues, my anger issues. Unreal. And she uses my forced pseudo-friendship with her for the sake of my mother. So do not upset my mom. Auntie and I play nice. She uses that as a means to get in little digs at me. It's what I was telling Trouble when Trouble was still my friend. So as I said, Trouble was 100% on my side regarding that. Go back and read all her emails. They're in the Trouble folder, her name. Yeah, you just call me mentally ill and a nutcase and a head case. And in doing so, you don't even comprehend the fact that it's people like you who negate me and my feelings and whatnot who cause me to be more mentally ill than I otherwise would be if I was treated with respect. And only people who are like me, who've been repeatedly, walked all over in this life by bullies, by people who just think that they, would understand. And my aunties would say otherwise. There's a huge difference. Again, my mother's my roommate. And yes, we haven't always gotten along or whatever. But I've also, realized that I've apologized. That's the difference. Okay? That's the huge difference. And only people who've gone through that, including the woman who's taking care of Angel and whatnot, gets it, You try to have patience, you try whatever, and sometimes these people just that have the problems, that has pushed you past your breaking point. Especially when all you want to do is sleep and they're pounding on your door in the middle of the night or what, When you've given up getting them to go to sleep, you just want them to leave you alone and they won't do it. Okay? I'm not a fucking robot. And just because I did certain things in the past and said them out here doesn't mean I continue doing them, okay? Unlike what my fucking enemies say, it's not true. I'm a human being, I learn, I grow, okay? I have over this past summer. I've been walking on eggshells with my mom and treating her with kid gloves and not getting on her case about, when unbeknownst to all of us, she was experiencing that lithium toxicity. She didn't brush her teeth for 2 whole days and nights. And then when she was in the regular hospital, she was, once she was stabilized or whatever, and we knew what was going on, then she was like, why does my breath smell so bad? And then I told her, I'm like, you didn't brush your teeth for 2 days and nights, Mom. I wasn't going to, I didn't say a word to her. I never said one word, I was wrong. But that was months ago when I got upset with her. But you have to remember, too, I'm responsible. If she should just take her meds and go to bed. If she takes a nap late at night and then I'm trying to wake her up at midnight, I'm responsible for her taking her meds. I have to get her up. And if she's being childlike and petulant and won't get up, I'm not perfect. Those are the times I've lost my cool. After that one night, I never again lost my cool. And I don't care if you don't believe me. My enemies don't believe anything. They think I'm a friggin' monster. After that night, I never did that again. I realized I was wrong. I apologized, and I never did it again. But if she won't get up and take her meds, I have to have her do it. Okay? It's not like I don't just yell for no reason. You say it softly 50, and then they still won't get up. You have to raise your voice. She has to take her medication. And that's my primary responsibility living here, to make sure she takes her medication. And when she's tired, she doesn't want to do it. She doesn't want to get up and take her medication. You know? That's why it's too bad you can't convince her to just take it early and go to bed. I've tried to say that to her nicely, you know. You're going to get more and more tired. It's not like you're going to get less tired. Why not just take your medication and go to bed? She doesn't want to do it. And then there are times I've had to, I've really had to get upset. I mean, like, you've got to get up and take your medication. Mom, I'm going to bed. Okay, on my phone. I don't need anything from Auntie. What do I need from her? Who knows if she plans to even visit my mom in the hospital, and she can go by herself. Nothing to say to her. She showed her true colors yet again. And that last therapist I liked told me I have every right, and I'm not a horrible person, to not go to the family cookout. I matter too. It's not always about my mom who's going to be upset if I don't have to do everything just because it might upset my mother. Believe it or not, there are actually people like my last therapist who say that I matter too. It's not just about my mother. Oh, surprise, surprise at that, huh? My feelings matter. I even have that text from Auntie, I'm sure. Maybe not. Oh no, that might have been a phone call. Yeah, that wasn't a text, it was a phone call. I have it in my head. You know, Laura, I've been talking to the family, and I told them that we really should invite you to the family cookout, and we want you to feel like, you know, in case something happens to your mom, that we don't want you to feel like you have no family, and you know, but she had to throw in, you know, because they all don't believe anything that I ever did regarding Auntie was valid. It was all attributed to my mental illness, and that's why, despite how she betrayed me in the end and hurt me beyond belief, you know, but not only responding to my enemy, but writing, you know, whatever. Trouble was a supportive friend in that area, you know. She saw right through the bullshit. Because Auntie, of course, had to throw in, well, you know, because they only saw you as this, I don't know what she said, this crazy, or whatever, but I'm doing the right thing, and I'm convincing them that we should allow you to come to, yeah, fuck you, I'm not going to your fucking family cookout, I don't have to. Don't do me any favors. My mom doesn't understand, my mom's like a child. You know? Like I said, believe it or not, it's not always about my mother. My feelings matter too. I'm a very, very, very unhappy person. And it's been that way for years now. And that is why, despite how fit I am, believe me, I can still do just because I'm 20 pounds heavier doesn't mean I'm suddenly you know, I still can exercise up a storm. I can still, whatever. 20 pounds are cortisol, stress, and overeating because I'm a emotional eater. I'm still extremely, especially compared to this world getting more and more obese, even children. I'm extremely fit. I'm extremely healthy, physically. But I don't know that all the stuff that I do is enough to combat the absolute, just emotional horror that churns around inside of me constantly, you know? Or, I don't know, the emotional shitstorm, the emotional whatever. Better word than horror, I think. And unless you're like me in your personality, then you're never going to understand. Selena didn't understand why I cared about when Stoney was, you know, his cat was being really, really nice to me or whatnot. She's like, well, they're strangers. Like, yeah, but you started off as a stranger. And Blanche from France is a stranger that's been my staunch supporter and advocate and cheer me on and encourage me and said whatever since I first started doing this in 2010. It's like almost, give it 5-6 years, to give or take. Depending on when he actually found my channel and when I actually started, you know. Doesn't matter if it's online or in person. If you're nice to me, I'm going to believe you're being sincere until circumstances prove otherwise and you show your true colors. But when I know how Auntie views me and how the rest of the family views me, why do I want to go to the fucking family cookout? It'll make me miserable. It'll be too awkward. You know? Why should I do it? When I know what people are thinking. They know exactly what they're thinking. And they don't know shit. But Trouble did. Trouble saw right through it. All of it. And for that I thank her. Doesn't change the fact she broke my heart in the end, but for that alone I thank her. Though she'll never know I thank her. See, we woke up, but the baby went back to sleep. It's not like he's asking me to take him out or anything. It's often the case. Fed him early this morning, but we both went back to bed, didn't go out. I did take him out in the middle of the night, one in the morning, to do his pee-pee. Mama has house insurance again. We had found out that had lapsed. Didn't know. Went through everything. Like I said, I take care of so much. I really do. My enemies can rip me apart all they want to. They don't live here. They don't know how much I take care of in this household. And Auntie doesn't have to worry. I'm not going to... My mom's so fragile. You think I'm going to tell her any of this? No. It'll be in my own head. I know now how, you know, Auntie showed her true colors and that's it. I know now. She's not to be trusted, and you, in your head, you keep it just, you know that, and you keep it at an acquaintance level, and you don't share shit with her about any of your feelings. That's all. Lesson learned. Lesson learned, baby. Just tell my mom what I've told her before. It's too awkward for me. I don't want to go to the family cookout. I'm not going. I don't need it. Pain just never ends, Omar. Never, never, never. I need an escape. I need to finally contact that fetish photographer like I'd planned on doing, and then, you know, we got the one thing after another. We got my mom with the lithium toxicity, and then we got her breaking down again, and, you know, it just doesn't end. I see right through Auntie's bullshit, and I most definitely see right through that little twit of a nurse practitioner's bullshit. And that's it. The end.